Alright, so today we're going to be checking out Order in Decline by Sum 41. I'm so excited to be reviewing this album. Hailing from Canada, this band started as one of the biggest pop punk bands of the early 2000s, but have slowly been inching closer and closer to the hard rock metal sounds, which I personally love. Since the return of Brown Sound, I've been so excited for all the new music they've released the past couple years. He's a monstrous guitar player, and things just didn't quite feel right without him there. Their last album, 13 Voices, was a great album, and I think Derek's voice has been getting better and better since his recovery. This one is titled Order in Decline, so let's get right into it. Kicking off the album, we have the song Turning Away, and it starts off with this real somber piano intro, which really goes right to a rocking full band build-up. Derek has some really soft vocals on the first verse, which kind of float over the kick drum. The second part of the verse is what you'd come to expect from Sum 41. The chorus is pretty punk rock and gives me almost a Rise Against vibe to it. The solo's fantastic and it has a great bluesy feel to it. Overall, this song has such a gradual build-up from a piano intro to a pretty punk rock chorus. Lyrically, the song seems like it's about going through a separation or breakup. Personally, I love this song. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Up next is Out for Blood. So this is the first single which dropped at the end of April, along with the music video. The song starts with a bang. The intro guitar riff is a really cool kind of half-step alternating guitar riff. The second time they run it, the drums come in with a really driving double bass kick beat, and the verses really have a punk vibe alternating between Derek singing with the kick drum and the full band coming in with the fast punk guitars. The pre-chorus has a real catchy riff over some kick snare. The chorus has some really excellent vocal layering with the ahs in the background. After a quick first chorus, the second verse actually changes things up a bit. There's a piano melody in the background which goes right into that fast punk section again. Derek also does some pretty punk screams with he has a really cool vocal filter on too, which I loved. After the second chorus, there's a synth drum breakdown which pulls back everything right before the solo hits. Speaking of which, holy crap, I can't tell you how great it is to have Dave back in the band. This is nearly 30-second long, blistering, Metallica-esque breakneck solo. Also, Cone gets to shine a bit with his quick bass breakdown, which I thought sounded great. I absolutely love this song. They have a great way of keeping their verses different without it feeling way too all over the place. Lyric, this is a pretty aggressive and graphic song. It has this giving up hope vibe, which kind of fits the dark, angry vibe of the song. I give this song a 9 out of 10. Definitely check it out. The New Sensation. This song instrumentally feels really similar to Uprising by Muse. Even the melody and harmony are really Matt Bellamy-esque. I love Muse, I'm not saying they ripped them off, but this sounds like a Sum 41 covering a Muse song. With all that aside, I really like this song. The verses are really strong, and Derek's screams in the pre-chorus are intense. There's lots of great layering vocally everywhere in this song, and it kind of gives it this big anthemic feeling. So far, the album's off to a great start. Lyrically, I think the song's kind of a knock against like the news and media. I give this song an 8 out of 10. A Death in the Family. I love how this track starts. It almost has a Metallica Enter Sandman vibe to the build-up, and even into the first verse. The guitar in the first verse is fantastic. I really think this album should finally get that pop punk label off their backs that they seem to have been carrying around their entire career. The pre-chorus might be one of my favorite parts of the entire album. There's this big dramatic fallout where it's just Derek's voice with the arpeggiated guitars, and it's just fantastic. He's got a pretty aggressive scream singing tone during most of the album, but his cleans, where he really cleans it up, are just stellar. The layering with the ahs on the choruses also really add a lot to the song. The drum beat on the choruses is great. It's a nice change up from the punk grooves in the verses. The guitar solo is also another ripper. To be fair, I could listen to Dave's guitar solos all day. I think he's one of the best guitarists in the scene right now. Lyrically, this is definitely a politically inspired song, especially lyrics like, "I'm calling all to arms, so everyone, and it's the time to hear your voice. You've got the right." And lines like, "Your fate is left to a different generation. You know they won't be kind." You can kind of get it's reaching some political vibes there. I give this song a 9 out of 10. Heads Will Roll. This is an awesome southern rock style intro. The guitar tone has this killer crunch to it and it sounds really raw. This song has a really fun Black Keys style groove throughout pretty much most of the entire song, which is a little bit different than the other stuff on the album. The chorus has a great ascending and descending scale melody where the guitar and bass actually kind of follow along with it too. It gives the chorus a ton of movement and it almost feels like you're on a carnival ride. I really dig the solo in this song because it's a little more melodic and less shred heavy, and it's a little nice change of pace. They also fade this song out gradually, so cool way to end the song too. Lyrically, I don't love this song as much. Lines like, "You don't want to make me lose my shit cause heads will roll," they just sound a little too cringy and angsty. The drums really stand out, and I think they keep the song from feeling stale. I love the song overall. Lyrics, personally, not for me. I give this song an 8 out of 10. Alright, so up next is 45, A Matter of Time. This song is definitely a nod to the political climate in the United States right now, and the music video itself really pushes that home. The title itself, 45 is in reference to Donald Trump being the 45th president. And you can feel the angst and anger in the lyrics. I believe I read somewhere that this album was gonna have a little bit more politically driven songs on there, and you can definitely feel that here. Instrumentally, this kicks off with a really cool southern metal riff, with some descending guitar lines which lock in perfectly with the drum accents. The verse vocal melodies are very percussive, and they almost have a militant marching drum accents, which I think is such a cool way vocally to kind of like give the song a little bit more movement. The chorus has this really fun ascending melody with some synth pad or orchestral strings nestled in the background, and it kind of gives it this big epic feel. After the second chorus, they drop tempo like very abruptly, and they have a pretty cool rocking breakdown. I'm a fan of southern metal style guitar riffs, so this is right up my alley. They break it down a second time with the palm muted stripped back chorus. They repeat it again with full band, and then it's got some stellar drum fills all throughout the song. And to put a bow on this great song, they bring back that intro guitar riff to close it out. All the guitar fans out there, you guys should definitely get a kick out of this track. I give this one a 9 out of 10. Alright, so next we have Never There. This is the big ballad of the album, starting with vocals, piano, and some acoustic guitar. This stripped back intro is total night and day from the last song. Lyrically, the song seems like it's about a broken family and moving on and healing from it, and how hard being a single parent can be. I believe Derek grew up in a broken household, and from what I've read, I don't think he actually ever met his father, so I think this is one of the strongest songs lyrically, and it feels really genuine. The chord progression along the melody almost has this uplifting vibe to it. After the first chorus, we start this subtle build-up. It hits its peak with this big instrumental bridge with the distorted guitars coming in and the epic sounding orchestral strings. The guitar solo is short, sweet, and melodic. This song was also released with a music video, which I love. I won't spoil it for you, but I definitely recommend giving it a watch. I'll link it in the comments. I give this song a 9 out of 10. Definitely check it out. Alright, so Eat You Alive is next. This intro has the instruments really locked in and has some tight and powerful pauses which really complement the vocal melody accents. The guitar has this real dirty fuzz on it, which I really like. The verses also have some stellar harmonies which jump in and out. The drums definitely stand out on this song as well. This song as a whole feels more kind of like an instrumental flex. I'm actually not a fan of the vocal filters they put on this song. I think it kind of made the vocals like kind of disappear in the mix a little bit. This chorus is definitely one of the weaker ones on the album in my opinion. I give this song a 7 out of 10. Alright, we have The People Versus. Here's another one of the politically themed songs, and it really goes in a punk direction. I love the guitar harmonies in the intro. This actually sounds like a song you would hear from The Offspring. It's just in your face, full energy, full time. Even the ending of the chorus really reminds me of the Offspring song All I Want, but instead of singing All I Want, they're singing He's Got to Go. I tend to like aggressive fast songs, so this one gets a 9 out of 10 in my book. Alright, wrapping everything up, we have the song Catching Fire. This intro has almost an Angels and Airwaves feeling to it. It's definitely less in your face and more of a ballad. I think the melody's really catchy, but of all the songs on the album, this one feels the least like Sum 41. The song lyrically sounds like it's about a loss of a loved one, and I actually really love these lyrics. My biggest gripe with the song is it never feels like it kind of reaches an apex. Once the first chorus hit, it kind of keeps the same intensity throughout the rest of the song. It's by no means a bad song, I just think the other songs on the album just shine a little bit brighter. I'll probably give this one a 6 out of 10, just my opinion. Alright, so some final thoughts. I love this album. I really think these songs kind of put that final nail in the pop punk coffin. This label that's been following around Sum 41 since, people that know them from Fat Lip and In Too Deep. This album feels like the love child between 13 Voices and Chuck. Lyrically, I think this is some of their best work. A lot of times when many bands kind of get woke and political, it can come off as if they're just kind of pandering to their fans, and it can fall flat. I actually think they did a really good job of speaking their minds without going way too Rage Against the Machine politically. Instrumentally, I gotta give a big nod to Dave on the lead guitar. Having him back in the lineup just feels like this is a Sum 41 album. His playing is just so clean and tasteful. I also like that this album's a little bit shorter. I'd rather 10 great tracks that seem focused and driven than 13 kind of average, they don't feel cohesive tracks. So I think the album length is great. I don't think this album overstays its welcome, and it really never felt like it was dragging. My top songs are Death in the Family, Never There, and 45. I know these were all singles that were released before the album dropped, but I really think they did a great job picking these songs as singles. Overall, I think this is one of my favorite releases of the year. I give this album a solid 8.5 out of 10 as a whole. What do you guys think? How does this stack up against their past work? What were your guys' favorite songs? Please let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, I really appreciate you giving me a like and a subscribe. If there's something you want to see or something I can do to make these reviews better, please let me know in the comments. I love getting criticism. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll catch you next week.